What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to From the Gallery. I'm Giles from Fitment Industries, and we are here today to take a look at some of your rides that you guys have submitted to the gallery over at fitmentindustries.com. And if you haven't added your car yet, feel free to do so. fitmentindustries.com/add. Post it up there, post your wheel specs, all that sort of good stuff. Get added into the largest online fitment gallery that there is, and then we'll take a look at it. If you send us an email, shop@fitmentindustries.com with the subject line, review my ride, we'll get it added into the list, and then Dakota can send me 4 cars to take a look at, and then like the next week, if we ever get out of this quarantine, then I'll send him 4 cars to look at, and then we'll just keep doing that until, we're allowed to go back out in public. But we're gonna get into our first car of the day, which is a 2010 Volkswagen PASSAT Comfort. And we got a good old-fashioned Wagoon gang in the building. No wonder Dakota pulled this one out of the sheet. And we are sitting on some GMR RSs, or RS1s, sorry. And we are at a 19 by 10 plus 8 all around. So these are some pretty big wheels on this Volkswagen. We have some Nankang tires, 235/35, and then we are sitting on some good old Airlift Performance suspension. Now this is Jess.B6's 2010 Volkswagen, and then photography by Ant_Media. So fenders pulled and rolled, slight rub at full turn, bags and wheels fully built, he says in the notes. JK LOL. He's got a looks like upgraded turbo, stage 3 engine tune. We got some stage 2 DSG tune, straight pipe, and a custom quad exhaust. R8 cool pack, cold air intake, OEM Vortex kit, Mark 7 APR intercooler, and then lots of little details. So let me go ahead and take a look into this thing. First off, that fitment is absolutely gorgeous. We got a perfect fender to lip fitment when aired out. Looks really, really good here. We got a roof rack on some pictures, like the roof box in some pictures. Other than that, I'd like to see maybe some of the other little stuff that you're talking about. Looks like maybe some upgraded brakes here, just powder coated things, stuff like that. I can't tell if it's like a black or more of like a dark brown or gray here. Usually a lot of people tend to go with like a chrome delete or something like that. I'd love to see some like aftermarket lighting and maybe something to do with that chrome. It's not terrible. If it is like black, it does fit in a little better. But yeah, definitely some like aftermarket lighting or something like that. Headlights, taillights, something of the sort. Got some tint going on there. Yeah, it's a really good start. I love just big wagons like this, especially on air. If Dakota doesn't bag his Jetta wagon soon, I don't know what we're gonna do. All right, so for this 2010 Volkswagen Passat, time to rate it. Bag the Wagoon. We got a bagged Wagoon. It's pretty clean. I love that it's a daily driver. I love these dailies. I'd like to see a little more stuff done to it. I'm gonna give it a 7.5. Solid 7.5 here. I really like it. I daily the hell out of one of these things. Moving into our second car of the day, we have a 2019 Honda Civic, and we are sitting on some Rays Engineering CE28Ns, 18 by 9.5 plus 35, some Continental tires, 235/40, and then sitting on some BC Racing coils. So this is Ciopao FK7, I said that right. This is his 2019 Honda Civic. No rubbing, no fender rolling, no spacers, just a good old 18 by 9.5 plus 35 fitment, just like any modern import car should have. So, looks like we got an APR wing on here. We got some aero goodies, got some big old diffuser on it, probably an aftermarket exhaust splitter. Carbon hood, possibly, or wrapped hood, I can't really tell, but kind of going by everything else here, I would imagine that that's probably a carbon hood of some sort. But I really dig this thing. So like these Honda Civic Sports are just kind of cool because they're just, that back end is almost like, a hatchback, or it is a hatchback, and it just gives it a unique look. It's just a little bit, beefier of a Civic, and it's not like a full Type R or anything like that, but it just gives it a cool, or like a unique look to it, and I really like them, especially with the center exit exhausts and everything like that. I think they turn out really cool. So with the Rays C28s on here, I think that looks absolutely fantastic. You got a really good functional setup going on with the wheel and tire here. I think it sits really nice. You just like a good functional setup. So honestly, this thing looks really good. I dig the aero pieces on it. Reminds me a lot of kind of what I'm trying to do here. But yeah, it looks aggressive, and I really like it. So for this 2019 Honda Civic Sport, the good old function track style setup, I'm gonna give it a 7. I really like it. I really like this style. Like I said, it's kind of something that I'm going after with my car. Just kind of more of like a function you know, something that, you know, looks like it goes to the track, but maybe it doesn't really go to the track kind of thing. But, you know, we're just going to get past it. I really like it. Solid 7. Moving on to car number 3 of the day. Once it loads up here, we have a 2017 Toyota 86. And we have an orange one. It's not a hot lava, but it's orange. We got some Volt TE37 SLs, 18 by 10 plus 30 in the front, and an 18 by 11 plus 18 in the rear. And that can tell you something. We are looking at a wide body FRS. We are looking at some Continental Extreme Contact tires, 285/35, and some loud cars driving by because it has not stopped raining here in the past 2 days, it feels like. Some Race Comp Engineering coilovers. So this is 86 times 86 times 86 times 86 is 2017 Toyota 86. I don't know what that math is, but it's a big number. So over fender wide body trim, obviously it looks like we got 1/4 inch spacer in the front and then an 1.5 inch spacer in the rear. So that's just the unfortunate thing, especially, you know, when you get into the wide bodies, stuff like that, and you're getting into, like, you know, forged monoblock wheels and stuff that they just, you can't make them big enough to fill out that over fender, that wide body, so you have to run a spacer unless you're looking at something like multi-piece or something like that to help you out. But 1.5 inch spacer in the rear, that's quite a bit to make up an offset. So anyway, let's get into this. I am not sure what kit this is, but we are looking at something here. I dig the wing. The T37s are awesome. I love the orange and the eternal blue pearl color combo going on with the wheels. I dig that combo. Looks like we got either some VLANs or some OLM headlights going on. I love the diffuser in the back. That diffuser is wild. Single exit exhaust, some Valenti tails, it looks like. Good stuff going on here. This body kit, though, I'm not a huge fan of the body kit. I'm not gonna lie. I dig the carbon hood. That bumper is just freaking massive, dude. Wow. And you got the massive bumper. The over fenders are very blocky, which I'm not against. I dig, you know, like the more aggressive blocky look to it. There was like the 326 Power One that had come out. It's really, really wide, really aggressive, kind of blocky. But, you know, this, I think it's just the front that kind of really throws it off to me because it sets like a super wide presence in the front, and then it's just kind of squared off through the rest of it. It just, I'm not sure. Maybe because it's molded too. The front fenders look molded. There's just something about it. I'm not a huge fan of the kit, and I'm sorry to say that, but I've never seen this kit. It is a little out there. I think these have to be some massive over fenders. Like the freaking width on these things must be just ridiculous. But other than that, it looks like he does have, let me look at the fitment here one more time. As far as like the flushness and everything, it looks pretty good. That one picture made it look a little funky, but I think that's just because the arches are just so massive. Just kind of looking through the other details here, it looks like all he says is custom wide body, so that kind of leads me to believe that this is maybe like a homemade kit, which if so, that is absolutely awesome. I love the craftsmanship and everything like that, and that's more than I could ever do with, you know, setting up molds and fiberglassing or anything like that. So more power to you, man. You know, like I said, that front is just a little too aggressive for my personal liking, but if you did this by yourself, you're making molds, making fiberglass pieces, that's freaking cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this one a rate here. I'm gonna give it a 6 because I think he's got a lot of stuff going, or a lot of good stuff going on. It's just that, like I said, that front is just throwing me off just a little bit there, but everything else I really, really dig. And then moving on to our last car of the day, we have a 2006 Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution MR with some Koenig Ampliforms, 18 by 9.5 plus 25 with some Firestone Firehawk Indy 500s. And we were looking at 255/35 for the tires, and then some Öhlins coilovers. So some pretty nice coilovers going on here. It's got DLB_Customs 2006 Mitsubishi Lancer. So we got -2 degrees of camber, no rubbing, no scrubbing, no modifications to the fenders, anything like that. ETS intercooler, ETS short route piping, 3-inch NVIDIA down pipe, STM test pipe, NVIDIA catback, and then the Öhlins. So let's take a look at this here. I love Evos. I especially love this, you know, generation of the Evo. I've always wanted one. And this gray color, just even though it's gray and it's a simple, like, neutral color, Just looks absolutely killer. The Ampliforms, I think, are a solid choice. Kind of take a look under the hood here. Looks like we got some strut bars and stuff like that. Aftermarket intake. And then it's really clean. It's honestly just a super clean car. But other than that, you know, not a whole lot of other stuff going on besides, you know, some performance stuff, some exhaust stuff. And then we got the wheels, tires, suspension. I think the Ampliforms, like I said, good choice for this car. I love the bronze. The Koenig Ampliforms come in like a very subtle bronze color that contrasts nicely with this, but nothing really outside of that. The fitment, pretty dang good. I think that, you know, plus 25 is pretty aggressive for these cars. I think like a plus 35, especially with like a 9.5, suits these. But he's still fitting a 255/35 tire, so still pretty decent tire on here. Could maybe go a little bit lower, but if he's driving this thing pretty hard, I can definitely see why. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and rate the last car of the day, and we are gonna give this 2006 Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution a good old solid 6.5. Just because I really dig the setup. It's got like a nice functional fitment on there. Nothing too far as, you know, nothing too much else going on outside of the wheels, tire, suspension, and then some performance stuff. But I'd maybe like to see some carbon bits, maybe some just additional aero side splitters, or just a front splitter, maybe a diffuser. You know, just something to, you know, spice it up a little bit. But other than that, I think, you know, the setup that you got, you know, you got the Firestone Firehawks, you got the Öhlins, you got some Koenigs. It's a really solid setup. So that is going to wrap it up for this episode of From the Gallery. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Dakota, for picking out some cars. But that is going to wrap it up for today. Don't forget, if you haven't added your car to the Fitment Industries Gallery yet, go ahead and do so. FitmentIndustries.com/add, or you can find the link down in the description below. And then shoot us an email, shop@FitmentIndustries.com, with the subject line, review my ride, and we'll get it added into the list and take a look at it. But that's going to wrap it up for today. Don't forget, wheels, tires, suspension, FitmentIndustries.com. I'm Gels. We'll see you later.